It will flow in all directions. Nitai broke that dam, and the waters of Krishna Prem started flowing in all directions. Every house, every village, everyone was infused with Krishna Prem. The question arises, what was the dam? That dam was time factor. Krishna knew he had to come down to this world. But when he has to come, how he has to come, who are the associates, how the pastimes will be chalked out, how he's going to give Krishna Prem, he was still thinking. Time factor was the dam. Nityananda Prabhu said, accelerate, come on, come on, come on. Kali Yuga has started. Let's go down. Let's start inundating the whole world. Ghare ghare bole prem. He went and infused everyone. The Gurudev whom we have in our life is Nitai Swarup Shakti, dear devotees. He is in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, going from house to house, door to door, giving everyone Krishna Prem. I was recently in Avatari Desh, which is Abu Dhabi. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj has very beautifully named all of them. Dubai is Damodar Desh. Abu Dhabi is Avatari Desh. Sharjah is Sham Desh. Bahrain is Balaram Desh. Just like Prabhupada would name New Vrindavan, New Dwarka, etc. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in the mood of Prabhupada has renamed and spiritualized everything. So before coming to US last 1 week, I was there in Avatari Desh and Damodar Desh. And there I finished a home program and devotees took me. They said, Prabhuji, we want to show you something. So I said, it was already 10:45 at night. I said, what is there to show at 10:45? Is like Krishna going to appear? It's almost night. It's time to sleep. Because next day morning we had another program that Prabhu said, Prabhu, please, I know it is getting late, but I want to show you something. So I said, okay, if they want to show me something at night, maybe it's very precious, it's worth seeing. Dear devotees, please hear this. If you didn't hear the whole class, it is okay. Just hear this last 5 minutes. They took me and they said, Prabhuji, just witness what we are going to show you. And I was thinking, what is it going to be? Are they going to actually show me Radha and Krishna? The suspense that was created was, my goodness. We went to a place and we see UAE, United Arab Emirates, is an Islamic country. It's primarily Muslims. And it's not like America where you can go out on the streets and perform Harinam Sankirtan. The government will probably put you behind bars. Right, Anita Mataji? The government will not allow you. The government is pretty strong. UAE, Saudi, etc. In America, you can do whatever you want. In India, you do whatever you want. But UAE is very strict. And still the devotees indoors, somehow they practice Krishna consciousness. So they took me to this place and I kept my slippers out. And I went inside. The whole apartment was about 500 square feet. Very small. So you can imagine 500 square feet, how much it will be. It is called as Radha Madhab Naam Hatta. Radha Madhab Naam Hatta. It is in Avatari Desh. They took me there. Dear devotees, 500 square feet, they have 3 bedrooms. 35 people live in that house. 35 people. I was amazed when the devotees told me 35. I thought I heard it wrong. I said, how much? They said, Prabhuji, 35. And outside slippers were all arranged. 35 people. So I said, okay, 500 square feet. You can imagine 500 square feet, 35 people living. It's transcendental madness. It's very difficult. They have one hall. In that hall, they have the deities, Gaur-Nitai. And they have Radha Madhav. You'll find in UAE, almost every house has Radha Madhav photo. Every house will have a Radha Madhav photo. It's guaranteed. Any house you go, you will find a Radha Madhav photo. So they have a cutout of Radha Madhav. And they have nicely kept. And they have 2-3 sets of Gaur-Nitai. And the hall is there. And apart from the hall, they have 3 bedrooms. 35 people live there. Dear devotees, they are all laborers. They're all laborers. It's not that they have a very aristocratic lifestyle. All of them, they're laborers. Like, for example, they work in the malls. You have Lulu malls. So they work in the malls. They are car cleaners, and they are in the hotels, in the restaurants as waiters. Their family is in India, and they are living here. I looked at them and I asked the devotee, because I didn't have the courage to even speak to them. I was thinking, what level of devotion is this? Their companies are giving them accommodation to stay outside, but they are not staying outside. Why? Because if they stay outside, they have to eat onion garlic. They were saying, Prabhuji, we are staying here because if we stay here, we can eat prasadam. 35 people, Prabhuji, is nothing for us. We can eat prasadam, and outside we'll have to eat onion garlic. We have to eat in the mess. We don't want that. 35 people living in one house just so that they can have devotee association and they can eat prasadam. I was amazed. They have one restroom, that's it. 35 devotees, and all of them are up at 5:30 in the morning for Mangalarti. I was saying, how is it possible? 5:30 Mangalarti, 35 people, one restroom, how is it even possible? And they all just smiled. He said, ho jata hai. It just works out. And I was thinking, is it some Akshay Patra? Is the restroom expanding? And somehow it was a very small restroom. And it's not that it's very, very clean. It's not that they have fancy showers and they have jacuzzi and things like that. It's very obsolete. They are happy. They have one small kitchen. The kitchen is such that only 2 people can enter and stay. They cook for 70 devotees every single day. I was amazed. I was thinking, how is it even practical? Because 35 people, they eat in the morning, they eat in the evening. One devotee is assigned for this. Every day he cooks for 70 people, selflessly. And I asked him, how do you do it? He was beaming with joy. He was smiling. He said, it just happens. Radha Madhab help. It just happens. It doesn't end there. I go to Radha Madhab Naam Hatta. It is 11 o'clock at night. They are all wide awake. They are all wide awake. So I said, you please tell me, what is the secret of your bhajan? What is the secret of your bhakti? You are taking so much austerity just to do bhajan, just to be with devotees, just to eat prasad. You are taking bath in a restroom which probably many of us would not even look at. I'm literally saying, dear devotees, many of us would not even look at. They're happily, comfortably taking bath in a kitchen where it's so small. 70 people, prasadam for 70 people are cooked. I asked them, and they said, Krishna just maintains. Krishna, Gauranga and Nityananda are there for us. They just maintain us. And they said, can you speak something? They asked me, can you speak some katha? It was 11 o'clock at night. I said, you have to speak katha. I have come here to hear. You tell me. Because living in America, living in India with fancy, fancy houses, we find it difficult to do bhakti. Dear devotees, they make less than 1,000 dirhams a month. It is peanuts. For devotees who are in UAE, will know less than 1,000 dirhams is very, very less. For devotees in America, if the conversion has to be seen, it's somewhere around making about $300, $400 in a month. It's very less. Devotees there were telling me, Prabhuji, just the electricity bill amounts to like 300, 400 dirhams maybe. Less than 1,000 dirhams is nothing. It's peanuts. So they are not even saving anything. They are not practically able to send it to their family. They can't even go to India because tickets are expensive. They are living in a house with 35 people. They are taking bath in a restroom which is so outdated. I went to the rooms. I went inside and I went to the rooms, and they have bunk beds. And don't imagine the bunk beds are like soft bed. There is no bed. It is just wood. It is just wood. In one room, dear devotees, about 12 people sleep at night. The hall is just for Krishna. They can sleep in the hall. They have a nice split AC in the hall, but they don't sleep because they say this is for Krishna. 12 people sleep in one room. 12 like that. 35 people in one house. 12 people in one room. It's impossible. They're practically sleeping on top of each other. And because they're laborers, it's very difficult to work outside. Why? Because when I went that time, it was about 45, 46 degrees Celsius outside. For devotees in America, that's about 105, 106 Fahrenheit. And to work in that hot sun is madness. It's complete madness. There will be sunstroke. They are laborers. They construct buildings. This is how they maintain themselves. And by the time they come home, it is like 11, 11:15, 11:30 at night. Dear devotees, I got the shock of my life. I asked them, when do you sleep? And few devotees told me, Prabhuji, so this was 11:15 at night. They said, after your class, our Bhakti Shastri class will begin. I said, what do you mean? He said, Prabhuji, our Bhakti Shastri class is from 2 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I said, why so late? They said, Prabhuji, we don't have time during the day. We are laborers. नहीं, हमारे पास इतना समय नहीं है. समय का बहुत पाबंदी होता है, हमारे पास इतना समय नहीं है प्रभु जी. तो हम रात को करते हैं, 2 बजे से 4 बजे हम करते हैं, फिर 4 बजे को स्नान करते हैं, माला जपते हैं और 5, 5:30 बजे मंगल आरती को आते हैं. So I said, who teaches at 2 o'clock? He said, there's one devotee from Mayapur. He also gets up for us and he teaches us. Dear devotees, I was thinking, what level of surrender is this? Working for 10, 12 hours in 46 degrees Celsius. And if you think the summers of India are difficult, you should go to UAE. The summers there are extreme, are really extreme. And to work there for 10, 12 hours, making less than 1,000 dirhams, 35 people in one room, one devotee cooking for 70 people. That devotee who's cooking for 70 people, he himself is about 65 years old. I was thinking, what level of bhakti is this? 12 people sleeping in one room, not making much money. But they're all happy. They're all blissful. They're all smiling. At night, 11:30, 11:45, when everyone goes to sleep, when I went there, they were also so kind enough that they got me mango milkshake, 11:45 at night. I was thinking, where do you get so much enthusiasm? Kahan se itna milta hai? Like, we find it difficult. You are living in such a place which is so challenging. The neighbors are all Muslims. It's not that you can do loud Sankirtan. They were telling me one time they did Sankirtan. It was some Janmashtami festival and a lot of people came to their home. So the neighbors who were Muslims, they complained to the police and police were there on the doorstep. But they still don't stop. And dear devotees, it doesn't end here. They were telling me, Prabhuji, on Janmashtami, that is this year Janmashtami, I went just after Janmashtami. They said, Prabhuji, for this Janmashtami, we had 400 people who came to this house. 500 square feet house. 400 people. I said, are you joking? They said, no. Radha Madhab is Sakshi. 400 people came. I said, how is it even possible? How do you do it? They cooked for 400 people. They are all blissful. They, with hands on my heart, they are the best devotees I ever saw in my life. I have never seen anyone as glorious as them. So wonderful. Dear devotees, it is worth it to take a flight from India to go to Abu Dhabi and see those devotees. You may lose 20,000 rupees, but you will gain so much momentum and so much enthusiasm in our bhakti. And while, if you're in America and you're going to India, please stop by in Abu Dhabi and just see these devotees. You will not regret it. Just take a visa and see those devotees. You will not regret it. They are the best devotees I've ever seen in my life. No one knows them. They are in some corner of this world. No one knows them. It's not that they are doing for some Facebook popularity, fan following, this, that. No one knows them. They are happy in a place where probably no one will even go to visit them. They were saying, and many of them are Bangladeshis, Nepalis. So they were saying कि प्रभु जी यहाँ कोई आते नहीं है क्योंकि छोटा जगह है, तो यहाँ कोई आते नहीं. बड़े बड़े जो प्रचारक है वो प्रोग्राम करते हैं लेकिन यहाँ आते नहीं क्योंकि छोटा जगह है. तो हम तो विनंती कर सकते हैं, we can only desire and pray, but Not many come. And they all were having Kantimala. They were all having Tilak. All of them chant 16 rounds. I said, how is this possible? If no one is coming here, how is this possible? And all of them loudly, they said, Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. I was having tears in my eyes. I was thinking, Srila Jayapataka Maharaj is in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, Nitai Swarup Shakti, going from house to house, door to door, to places where most people will not go. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj goes them, inspires them, puts Kanchimala, puts Tilak, initiates them. Some of them are Brahminically initiated. I was thinking, what level of compassion is this? This is Nitai Swarup Shakti, dear devotees. Nityananda Prabhu has this mood of giving it to everyone. Uttama adhama kichu nakare vichar. And I could see when all of them said Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai, my hair was standing on end. I am not joking. I had goosebumps. The level of conviction, the level of Shraddha that they had for their Gurudev, mind-blowing, mind-blowing. And I told the organizers this, next time when I come, even if you don't organize any program for me, just make sure I come and spend some time with them. I just want to see them. I just want to see the level of devotion that they have in circumstances that is extremely challenging. And I thought to myself, if after having a house, after having laptop, internet, mobile, many of them, by the way, many of them don't have internet. They have the old Nokia phone. You see, you would have that Nokia Guru, the old phone. Many of them have that. They don't have smartphone. They cannot afford. They don't have money for internet. So when they come home, they have Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi money is provided by the devotees. Devotees sustain. So they don't even have internet. They cannot access Veda base. When they're outside, there is nothing that keeps them engaged. But still they're so inspired. Still they're so inspired. I was thinking to myself, we have laptop, we have internet, we have Veda base, we have Bhakti Sangha, we have so many devotees who come on this call, so many devotees who probably come to our house, who inspire us. Krishna has given us every facility. We have the money that we want. We have the car that we want. We have all the luxury, all the Aishwarya. Whatever we want, Krishna is just lavishly giving it to us. And if after all this, we complain to Krishna saying, Krishna, I have this problem. I have that problem. I cannot do bhakti. I was thinking to myself, it is shame on me. It is shame on me. If they, in such circumstances, if they can do bhakti without complaining, which they were smiling. They were smiling like Jagannath. They were smiling end to end. They were happy. They were convinced that their Gurudev and Krishna is maintaining them. And it is a fact, dear devotees. Gauranga Nityananda maintains everyone. It is a fact. We oftentimes give different terminologies. Oh, this person is hardworking. He is workaholic. He is this, he is that. It only shows that there is lack of surrender. Those who have lack of surrender to the lotus feet of Gauranga Nityananda will work and try to maintain themselves and are convinced that I am the maintainer. But actually Krishna maintains everyone. Krishna is maintaining them. And Krishna is maintaining so many of us. We have just taken it for granted. We have all the luxury that we want. If we are there in their position, we will crib, we will complain, we will criticize, and probably we will be atheistic. We will say God doesn't exist, because if he existed, why is it that I am poor and some others are rich? So we find Nityananda Prabhu was like that. Ghare ghare phule prem ami araban. He went from house to house, and Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in that mood is just inundating the whole world. And not just Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, all the glorious disciples of Prabhupada who are traveling around the world, all the preachers who are going around the world and spending their time and energy and their blood to inspire so many devotees. It takes a lot of effort. This is Nitai Swarup Shakti. This is Nityananda Prabhu Shakti. Without Nitai Swarup Shakti, no one can do this. Impossible. Next to impossible. Before we end, I know, dear devotees, we are a little over time, but Please kindly forgive me. I wanted to speak this. It was there on my tongue and I wanted to give it to someone. This is the first class after I've come to America I'm serving. So I wanted to give it to someone. So kindly forgive me. We are over time. But we see tomorrow is the day of Radhashtami in the US. And probably in India it's on Saturday. How do we please Srimati Radharani? We please Srimati Radharani by pleasing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When I was going to Varanasi to preach this time, so I was in the Mumbai airport, and in India airport, you see you have the security and they have the sensors and they kind of go around. So he was checking, and I had tilak and kanchi. So he said, "Kahan se ho, Vrindavan?" So I said, "No, I'm from Mumbai." How I wish I was from Vrindavan. So then he said, prior to that, he said, "Radhe Radhe." So I also said, "Radhe Radhe." And then he said, "Kahan se ho, Vrindavan?" So I said, "Nahi, Mumbai se." Lekin I told the security guard that आप प्रार्थना कीजिए कि अगले जन्म तो हम ब्रजवासी बन जाए. So he smiled. He was a Mathuravasi. And he looked at me and said, हाँ मुंबई में है लेकिन राधा नाम तो हर जगह है. राधा रानी का नाम ऐसा है कि राधा रानी का नाम मानो हर जगह है. आप चाहे मुंबई में भी क्यों ना हो, राधा नाम तो हर जगह है. And I started laughing. I said, "Yes." And while he was doing the security check, both of us said, "Srimati Radharani ki jai." And it was so, so glorious. So we see tomorrow is the day of Radhashtami, appearance day of Srimati Radharani. But how is Radharani pleased? By worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Yatha yatha Gaura Padara Binde Binde da Bhaktim Gruda Punya Rashi Tatha Tatho Sarpada Ridya Kasmat Radha Padam Boja Sudam Rashi. Chaitanya Chandramrita explains, Bodhananda Saraswati explains, to the extent one is surrendered to the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, to that extent he will receive the mercy of Radharani. Waves of Radha Prem, Braja Prem will rise in the heart of that devotee who surrendered to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But how do we please Gauranga Mahaprabhu? We please Gauranga Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu. We find in Chaitanya Bhagavad there is this Brahmana who walks all the way and goes and meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not very interested to meet him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at him and he says, "Se tahare priti kare, se kare amare, satya 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 vipra kohila tumare." My dear Vipra, my dear Brahmana, this is truth, this is truth, this is truth. Without pleasing Nityananda Prabhu, you don't get me. And without pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you don't get Radharani. And without pleasing Sri Radha, you don't get Krishna. It starts with Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prasade se Gaura Chandra Jani, Nityananda Prasade se Vaishnave Rachini, Nityananda Prasade se Ninda Jarashay, Nityananda Prasade se Vishnu Bhakti Hoy. It starts with Nityananda Prasad. If you have Nityananda Prasad, if you have the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Prasade se Gaura Chandra Jani. If you have the mercy of Nitai, Gaura Chandra Jani, you can understand Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prasade se Vaishnave Rachini. You will understand Vaishnavas and you will get the mercy of Vaishnavas. Nityananda Prasade se Ninda Jarashay. If you have the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, the fault-finding tendency will be completely gone. One will stop criticizing. Nityananda Prasade se Vishnu Bhakti hoy. And by Nityananda Prabhu's Kripa, Vishnu Bhakti will start. Krishna Bhakti will start in our life. It all starts with Nityananda Prabhu. And that Nityananda Prabhu comes in our life as Gurudev, Nitai Swarup Shakti. Before we end, the last line says, Nityananda Prasade say Vishnu Bhakti hoy. By Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we get Vishnu Bhakti. And oftentimes we see, this is a very often asked question, when we do the Tulsi Pranam Mantra, Vrindaye Tulsi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya cha. After that what? Vishnu Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti? So there is some confusion. Some say Vishnu Bhakti, some say Krishna Bhakti, some say Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti. Some say Vishnu Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. You find different patterns. So Ekalavya Prabhu or Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj in one class was mentioning, one time he was in Vrindavan And he was saying the Tulsi Pranam mantra. And he said, Vrindaye Tulsi Devya ye Priyaye Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prate Devi Satyavatte Namo Namah. He said this. And Indra Prabhu from behind, he came and he yelled, he said, no, it's Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. And Ekalavya Prabhu said, okay. Indra Prabhu was such a Raganuga Vaishnav, he would see Krishna everywhere. But from the Shastric standpoint, it is Vishnu Bhakti. When Prabhupada was also asked in a letter, Prabhupada, I think, writes to Jadurani Mataji, and he says it is Vishnu Bhakti. So Vishnu Bhakti Prate Devi Satyavatte Namo Namaha. But how does that Vishnu Bhakti start? It starts with Nityananda Prabhu. With Nitai,